Happy Wednesday, everybody. And today is a great day. The sun is shining, at least for a couple hours this morning before the clouds and the rain roll in. But the snow is melting, so we can be encouraged that yes, spring is not far away. It's a sign. It's pointing us to warmer, brighter days. We see the melting snow, we see the rising temperatures, and we can read those signs that the seasons are changing. And the gospel today is really all about being able to read the signs before us and recognizing the invitation that God places in our lives every day, an invitation to newness of life, an invitation to conversion, an invitation to start again. The problem is sometimes we have something else in our mind. We think we know what signs from God should look like, or what God should do, or maybe more importantly, what we want God to do. And because we get so narrow in our focus on what we think and what we want, we can miss those opportunities and those signs of God's grace and work that are happening all around us. We can become oblivious to that because we kind of get a tunnel vision and think that God can only work in a certain way, or that we only allow God to work in a certain way. The Pharisees were like that with Jesus. Jesus came in a way that they weren't expecting and that they did not think was a revelation of the Messiah who would come and deliver God's people. But Jesus tells them, you're missing the sign. The people are being healed. Lives are being restored. You're missing those signs. Those are the signs of the inbreaking of the reign of God and the deliverance of God's people. In these Lenten days, sisters and brothers, I'd encourage us, don't miss the signs of God at work in your life. It may happen in ways that you don't expect and maybe aren't prepared for. And they may even be those moments when we're called to go beyond ourselves and maybe in the ability or the strength that we think that we have. But knowing that we also have a God who promises to be with us in these moments. Jonah did not want to preach to Nineveh, but God was with him and Nineveh repented. So too as Jesus came to preach the signs of God's love and mercy, those who would be open to that received God's word and were able to be saved. And so I would just encourage us, as we hear these few lines from the scriptures, pay attention to the signs of God working in our lives today. Don't miss those opportunities to be able to encounter God and what God would have for all of us in these days. Jesus says, in these days, people were evil, and this generation is an evil generation. It seeks a sign, but no sign will be given it except the sign of Jonah. At the judgment, those of Nineveh will arise with this generation and condemn it, because at the preaching of Jonah they repented, and there is something greater than Jonah here. Indeed, there is something greater than Jonah in our midst. It is Jesus himself. Don't miss him today. Don't miss him in the encounters you can have with him, in the people that you meet, in the situations that you find yourself in. And know that there is a great sign being revealed in our midst, the sign of God's love for you and for me. God bless you. You have a great Wednesday.